Like if Earth is a classroom and I'm showing up to class every day, what am I supposed to be learning from those struggles and learn them as quick as I can so I can get to the next lesson? When we're in business, if we only focus on the numbers and we only focus on revenue, it'll eventually fail because then we're only chasing the money and the numbers. But then if we're only about human connection and we're only about the softer side of business, then we'll go out of business. My journey has far exceeded anything I ever imagined that I could accomplish for myself, and I feel like I'm just beginning. I just have this firm belief that it takes a village to be successful in life.
For the future generation, we are going to do a big deal of favor.
I have traveled to more than 20 countries across 4 continents in the world.
Hello everybody, welcome to SWOW series, the strongest women of the world, a global talk show where we celebrate strength and achievement of women from all over the world. Women are achieving extraordinary feats in everything that they choose to pursue. It is time to bring such inspirational stories out in the world so that many more women and girls will choose to find their strength and achieve whatever they wish. Simply put, this show brings the best women in the world to inspire the rest of the women in the world. Bear in mind, the entire show is non-scripted, simply heart to heart. Today's guest is a dynamic, results-driven leader with more than 20 years of entrepreneurial experience, who demonstrated success time and again. Recently, she has been awarded as a Top Entrepreneur of the Year by International Association of Top Professionals, IAOTP. She has also been awarded Women of the Year by Spokesman Review and also received Women in Business Leadership Award from Spokane Cda Living Magazine. She is a member of Nexstar since 2012 and also has been a board member since 2016. Her company, Mainstream, has maintained A+ rating from Better Business Beuro since 2003. Many hats, one person. Help me to welcome Elaine Damschen, President of Mainstream and founder of Miracles from Mainstream and board member of Greater Spokane Valley Chamber. Hi, Elaine. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
I want to say, first of all, a big congratulations for the recent award of Top Entrepreneur of the Year 2021.
Thank you. It was quite a surprise, and I'm very honored.
Being a Top Entrepreneur of the Year, can I ask you, where did your journey started? And have you ever thought that you would come this far?
My journey has far exceeded anything I ever imagined that I could accomplish for myself, and I feel like I'm just beginning. My first start on my journey actually became as a middle school teacher in Southern Idaho, and I taught middle school for, I think 7 or 8 years. Had twin boys with my husband, Todd. And then he always knew he wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so since he was an electrician, I got recruited to join the business world, and I did it kicking and screaming. But once I joined the movement and over the years have really fallen in love with the skilled trades, which is electrical, heating, cooling, and plumbing, and some of the most heartfelt, hardest working humans I've ever met. And here we are 21 years later in our business.
Wow, this is absolutely amazing. And I mean, let me ask, right? What do you think the secret of success for you, literally sustaining 21 years is itself is a huge success, whether somebody gives a, award or not. And can you share what do you think is the secret, or maybe if there are 2-3 ingredients, what is the secret of that success?
Oh gosh. Well, I would say, there's a lot of days that I didn't want to be on this journey. It's just been a lot of hard work. And I would say the secret to at least my success and my husband's success has been to be able to overcome the voices and do it anyways. Even when I didn't want to do it, I could do it anyways and do it with a smile.
This is really true, because many of the people, they do not take that first step because they got stuck in their internal voices. Anything new people have to do, it is definitely that internal voice has to be overcome. Let me ask you,
Yes.
right? is there is there any one decision that you really had to overcome your internal voices and then it gave you a huge success? Is there anything that you would like to share with Elaine?
I'm going to narrow it down to one word, and it's grit. I think for me, the word grit means exactly what we just talked about, was overcoming the internal voice, and to choose to do it every single day, no matter what. I'm going to expand on this a little bit, maybe to give an example. One thing that I like to do, and I don't know, I probably started this within the last 10 years, but I try to challenge myself with one new difficult thing. And so one example is, like, I love Project Athena Foundation, and that's a whole different topic. But I trained in the summer for 4 months, and then I hiked the Grand Canyon, rim to rim to rim. So I hiked it twice in 2 days, nearly 55 miles. It was at the end of August, so it was in Fahrenheit, between 100 to 115 degrees. And so I like to do things that are really, really difficult, like Grand Canyon, because then it gives me perspective on what I'm doing at home and at work, and then it doesn't seem so hard.
This is very important, that you are challenging yourself in some area of the life and bringing it and using it in every area of your life. This is definitely something new, which I think people should really look at. I mean, like that saying, right? When is the last time you did something new? What is your saying on that? That majority of the people, they don't do anything new just because they are in the, that comfort zone. They just want to be in that comfort zone, right? I mean, how do you break that?
Yeah. So the question is, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And I first heard that question about 20 years ago when I was training with my husband to do a triathlon. I'd never done it. I had to learn how to swim at age, mid or early 30s. And I really adopted that as a guiding life principle. And so I try to live that every day and every moment, because for me, it's about, like Tony Robbins says, it's staying in peak state. And when you're in peak state, you're making peak decisions and telling yourself peak stories that you can do anything. And so Newness does that for me. And so whether it's driving a different way to work, or eating at a new restaurant every opportunity I have, or saying yes to, like, I'm going to be in the Mrs. Idaho pageant this summer for the first time. That's, I would say, kind of another longer story to the secret to my success.
I see that the way that you are actually innovating your business, at the same time, you're continuously putting yourself in that newness, brings that probably a kid in you, I think. And I also want to wish you all the best for this Mrs. Idaho, which is coming up, right? And I've seen you mentioning continuously, about your husband who has been supportive, and then he being an electrician and turning into entrepreneur. And I also know this book, right? It's called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And that way it is really, they mostly use this name of the book to make fun out of, differences between men and women. But how did you manage to actually, fine tune, or I don't know, whatever name you can use, either fine tuning, managing, or creating that beautiful, individual spaces? How did you manage both at home and in the business?
Oh my gosh, it has been a journey, that's for sure. And not always a pleasant one at first. Lots of masculine energy that I brought to the table, which created the arguments and the frustration and a power struggle. And honestly, I don't know how he got wind of Tony Robbins, but I would say probably 6 or 7 years ago, he said, we are going to this. And we went together, and it's been a 5 or 6 year journey of attending Tony Robbins workshops, and that really got us on the same page. And I'm learning to be softer and showing up more as a feminine role, and but still being able to be a leader. And we have learned also the importance of surrounding ourselves with friendships and other business owners and other couples who work in the same industry with like-minded individuals. It's a journey, and we continue to work on it. But I think you mentioned it, I think maybe in a conversation prior to recording, was, we're not passive, just watching TV and watching life pass us by. We're initiating growth and learning within ourselves, not just individually, but as a couple.
This message alone can change a lot of lives, because many of the time the biggest challenge is the kind of friction between wife and husband. But you maintain for 21 years. That's a big achievement by itself, Elaine. And let me ask, right? You also have teenage kids. How you actually manage all these hats? You have a very successful entrepreneur role, and then you are a wife, and then you're a mother. That's another important role where you really need to, cater some responsibilities and then spend that good time. How do you manage this while having the business?
Well, I would say if there was one of the biggest internal struggles as a woman, a female entrepreneur, it would be the internal guilt, especially when the children were small, to balance wanting to be at home, but being disciplined enough to go to work and grow a business. I mean, for sure, the biggest struggle. Todd and I are surrounded by his mom. My parents live a few miles away, and they have really been key in helping us do the things we need to do in business to be successful. So that's been the balance. And then now my kids, actually my twin boys are going to be 26 and my daughter's 19, and I'm going to be a grandma in August.
So you have built an ecosystem in such a way that, you have managed all the roles. This is very important. But, that itself actually brings me to a very important question. You also have a 19-year-old daughter. Now, we see all across the world, irrespective of the place where they live, it's very common for women to become plan of somebody else's plan. I mean, just so easy. I mean, if they have a family business, they think, oh my God, my dad is there, so I need to help the business. Or once they get married, they think, oh my God, okay, I've got a husband, I need to support him. And then they just become part of their plan. When the kids come, oh, okay, I need to really take care of them, right? Now, I want to ask, right, you have managed all of these stages of course, you struggled through and created your space. Now, can you tell how this next generation can manage to follow and pursue their dreams while being part of others' plans partially? How did you do that?
So I'm going to use my daughter as an example to hopefully answer the question. My daughter's 19. I live in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I think that as I raised my daughter, I've been very heartfelt and authentic with her. And I think if you talk to her, she would agree. And she's also throughout her lifetime heard me say, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And she's witnessed the hard work. She's witnessed the newness. And 3 months after she graduated from high school, she moved to Hawaii. So she is doing online university, living in Hawaii, and she's not fallen into like my plan or our business. And we are encouraging her to go out and spread her wings and find and create her own space. So I think that this new generation, I think maybe we were raised of work really hard, and at the end of your life or the evening of our lives to go pursue those things, where I think not just my daughter, but I think this generation in general is really starting to get it, that we're alive and let's live intentionally on purpose and do the things that we desire while we're alive, and do it early and figure out our space and things that we love and enjoy. And she's doing it in the sunshine, sand, and sea.
You've been really having a lot of awards, seeing the success. And have you started, keeping all these things in mind that you would really, kind of get these awards and all that? Or, what was your mindset when you actually started the business?
So when we started the business, so let me give a little bit of a story of me growing up. So my dad, and I love him dearly, he worked in construction. He was a framer, and I saw how hard he worked in the elements, the wind, the rain, the snow, the sunshine, and how tired he was and how hard he worked. And my mindset, I told myself all through high school, I am never going to marry a contractor. And so when my husband was transitioning from, he was in the Air Force, the Air National Guard, into becoming an electrician, I was actually pretty resentful. I mean, I was not in a good mind space. I didn't want to do it. But I could see, I just have this firm belief that it takes a village to be successful in life. And so again, that internal voice, I mean, I did not want to do it. And I was not very nice in the beginning. I was pretty resentful in doing the business. So that was my mindset. It was really rough. And to finally adopt the learn it all instead of know it all is within the first couple of years when I started to shift my mindset. And the realization that business, life, and our income is a reflection of my own mental limitation.
You had a career as a teacher and then you started working on entrepreneurship. So how is it these two are different? If there is somebody, who is trying to move from that side to this side, what are the things that they can look into? Okay, I need to be prepared for these changes.
My answer is a simple answer. I mean, I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur. I mean, teaching is kind of uses the side of the brain that's very artistic and like human connection and more feelings. And then there's this whole business side. And I mean, just go and course correct along the way. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes and but I've always looked at it as learning opportunities to get better, and that it's like if Earth is a classroom and I'm showing up to class every day, what am I supposed to be learning from those struggles and learn them as quick as I can so I can get to the next lesson?
This is the thinking that the next generation should really carry forward. One important question before we really conclude this very, very interesting conversation. If there is an advice for the next generation to become successful, from a person who is successful as a mother, as an entrepreneur, and as a balance that you're making it out at this time, what kind of advice do you have for the next generation, Elaine?
I would say to be successful, analyze your own thinking. So I mentioned previously that teaching really developed my human connection side, and then I have the business side. I'm learning that it's not one or the other, it's both. So in business, I share this with my staff all the time, is when we're in business, if we only focus on the numbers and we only focus on revenue, it'll eventually fail because then we're only chasing the money and the numbers. But then if we're only about human connection and we're only about the softer side of business, then we'll go out of business. Yeah. But we have to have, it's both. And so even in today's world where I see there's a huge division and people can't appreciate each other's opinions and whether they're the same or different, it's both. I don't ever think it's one or the other, but let's consider how do you bring both philosophies or both types of thinking into play to be successful.
Amazing. So bring the both your left brain and right brain, connect to the people and make sure you are driving through the numbers and the vision. So this is the $3 billion message, Elaine. And I want to say a big thanks to you for being part of this show and also for your time. And audience, if you have not yet liked or subscribed, make sure to hit the subscriber button and make sure to share with every single person out there where this message can make an impact in your life. And Me and Elaine are thanking you for tuning into this video, and I'll see you with another amazing entrepreneur next week. But till then, thank you so much, and we say thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.